The reality television series Dual Survival, aired on Discovery Channel, has made Dave Canterbury one of the most recognized survival experts in the world. His participation in the TV show for 2 seasons gave the viewers a glimpse of his extraordinary skills in getting out alive from several challenging situations in the wilderness. However, his rising star power halted temporarily in 2011 when he quit the TV series, presumably due to his decision to pursue other life goals, but later on it was revealed that his services were terminated by the TV network. Fans of the TV series weren't shy back then in expressing their views on the decision. Some couldn't believe the reason given, but some felt that it was a justified move by the TV executives. David Michael Canterbury was born on the 19th of September 1963 in Florida. He has always been interested in outdoor activities, and even as a child, took after his father's love for adventure, particularly in diving and hang gliding. When his parents divorced, his mother then remarried a woodsman who had an affinity with nature. Dave's stepfather was into fishing and hunting, which exposed him early on in life to the world of outdoor survival situations. After matriculating from his local high school, Dave enlisted into the military in 1981. After he finished off his military service in 1986, he worked on a commercial reptile farm as an animal control officer. Later on, he became involved with commercial deep-sea fishing and also became a certified diver in Florida. His interest in wilderness survival training never waned, and when he had a chance again to return to school, he grabbed the opportunity and subsequently graduated with a bachelor's degree in wilderness ministry from Frontier Christian University, and also acquired certifications in wilderness first aid CPR and advanced search and rescue. To further enhance his wilderness survival knowledge, he finished basic and intermediate courses at the International School of Herbal Arts and Sciences. During his spare time, he would upload survival guides and self-sustainability videos onto YouTube. His official channel now has more than 700,000 subscribers and gained close to 115 million views. When dangerous professions found their way successfully into the reality TV genre, such as Deadliest Catch in 2005 and Ice Road Truckers in 2007, Discovery Channel continued to seek other interesting topics, such as survival adventures. It spawned the TV series Dual Survival, produced by Original Media, the same production company that created Storm Chasers in 2007. They hired the services of Dave Canterbury, ex-military, who was highly trained in survival strategies, alongside Cody London, a naturalist and outdoor primitive skills expert. The series followed the duo as they faced many challenges that required them to demonstrate their expertise in surviving pre-range scenarios. It was an interesting combination of brains and brawn, as they disagreed most of the time on the kind of strategy they would apply in certain situations. The series premiered on the 11th of June 2010, having been filmed during the dead of winter on the deserted island, somewhere in Nova Scotia, Canada. Dual Survival ran for 9 seasons over 6 years, and gained a loyal following. However, for several reasons, the producers made numerous main cast changes over the years that left the audience confused and somewhat disconnected, which resulted in lower viewership ratings. The TV show eventually aired its last episode on the 12th of October 2016. Dave's extensive military training in survival techniques offered a certain authenticity to the TV show. Fans quickly related to him, and it only took a few episodes in the first season for him to attract a following. Here are some of his most memorable moments in the reality TV show. Bog Down in Brazil was one of the highly rated episodes on IMDb, aired in August 2010 as Dave and Cody went to Pantanal, the largest freshwater wetland in the world, located mostly within the Brazilian state of Mato Grosso do Sul. They needed to traverse piranha-infested waters to return to civilization, which attracted the interest of many viewers that night. During the Slash and Burn episode, aired in April 2011, the duo showed the viewers how to survive in the harsh terrain and weather conditions in Tierra del Fuego in Argentina, which is just 500 miles, about 800 kilometers north of Antarctica. Viewers learned how to cauterize a wound when Dave voluntarily inflicted himself with an injury, so that Cody could treat it using black powder. They also crossed a frosty swampland to reach the mainland, needing to plan their travel carefully to avoid hypothermia. The episode entitled Adrift, aired in May 2011, saw the survival experts in the South Pacific as 2 castaways drifting in the ocean near a deserted jungle island. They needed to survive the island and reach civilization. It was disconcerting to see Dave barefoot, as he would often question Cody going barefoot. Also, in May 2011, viewers were treated to another fascinating episode entitled Out of Africa, in which Dave and Cody needed to survive in the backcountry wilderness of South Africa. They were only given a machete to deal with any predator they would encounter, but of course, the duo escaped the area without being eaten alive. They also showed viewers how to deal with dehydration issues in the wilderness. When it was released to the public that Dave wouldn't be returning for another season of Dual Survival, fans wondered why, since the TV show was doing well, and he developed a loyal following. Initially, the reality TV star told everyone that he set his eyes on pursuing other goals, which basically implied that he left the TV series voluntarily. He even said that it was due to family and business reasons. Some fans thought that the accusation from other viewers that the show was altogether a sham probably got to him, that Dave decided he didn't want to be associated with the series any longer. It was only revealed much later that Discovery Channel discovered that Dave embellished his military record in his resume when he applied for the survival expert spot in the TV show. He claimed that he had been in the US Army between 1981 and 1988, and that he had extensive training from airborne, air assault, ranger, and sniper-counter-sniper schools during his service. He also claimed that through his years in the military, he was stationed on several bases outside the US, including in Korea, Grenada, and Central America. Dave claimed that much of his time was spent as an instructor, not only of US troops, but also of some Allied forces. When interested parties investigated his background, it was found that Dave indeed served in the military, but for under 6 years, and not the 7 he claimed. He wasn't Squad Leader 4th ID 1982 to 1983. He wasn't a US Army sniper, as he only participated in the local 4th ID Sniper Counter-Sniper class for 2 weeks in 1986. He wasn't a 19D Scout, as he only attended a Law Enforcement 95B course. And while he served in the military police, he wasn't an SRT member, which was the military equivalent of Special Weapons and Tactics, generally known as SWAT. There was no record of him being a member or involved in any of its assignments. Dave also wasn't an SRT instructor, as he didn't attain an E6 or SSG ranking or certification, which was a requirement for instructors. As for his military tours, there was no record of him being involved in any military operations in Central America, specifically in Honduras and Nicaragua from 1986 to 1987. Dave indeed went to South Korea, but only as an ID badge clerk, and was a member of the security escorts for military equipment in the DMZ areas between South and North Korea from 1983 up to 1985. In fairness to him, he received military decorations and awards during his service, including Army Service Ribbon, Army Good Conduct Ribbon, Overseas Army Ribbon, and Army Achievement Ribbon, along with Expert Badge with bars for auto rifle, hand grenade, and pistol. Cody London, his co-star in the TV show, was asked several times about the foregoing, and initially said that inquiries about Dave's disappearance from the show should be directed to Discovery Channel. However, later on, he released an official statement saying that he had an ethical responsibility to do so, and felt that questions would continue to be thrown at him and could reflect adversely on himself. A part of his statement said, "In a profession where human lives are at stake, dishonesty about one's background and experience is an inexcusable breach of trust." It was reported that when the TV network executives learned about Dave's duplicity, they didn't think twice and fired him from Dual Survival. While Dave's personality was perfect for the TV show, his exaggerated claims of his time in the military left the show's integrity in shambles. Many reality TV shows already had their fair share of accusations of being inauthentic, and if fans got hold of this information before the network executives did something about it, other reality TV series on their TV network would suffer the consequences. After his military background became controversial, Dave released a video via his YouTube channel and was man enough to admit his wrongdoing. However, he didn't give any details of his duplicity, only an explanation as to why he did it. He said, "I didn't do it to make things difficult for anyone in my family. I actually did it to, number one, better my family." Dave further explained that he was quite naive about the TV entertainment industry and thought that at the time, no harm, no foul, but regretted doing it after reflecting on it. He now knew that his action was a great disappointment, not only to himself, but to his family, and everyone else involved in the production. Dave apologized to his family, his friends, and his fans, and shared that he tried moving on from it as best as he could with his Pathfinder school. However, fans were divided about his apology. Some of them felt that he wasn't sincere with his confession, as it came a little late, and he only apologized because he was already caught. There were those who felt that it was courageous of him to make a public confession, and since it was for his family, he was given a pass. Most of the fans expressed their displeasure, saying that lying about his resume wouldn't have been a huge deal if it wasn't for his military background. They felt for those who actually underwent hardships in training and serving in the armed forces, only to be trivialized like that, just to get a job on TV. As he didn't go into specifics, more questions surfaced, and fans were curious as to the extent of his duplicity. They also wondered if he did it with malicious intent or not. The only thing that was clarified in his confession was that his contract with Discovery Channel wasn't renewed for the third season because of the discrepancies in his resume. Apparently, Dave's controversial confession and apology about his military record was old news to some members of Bushcraft USA. Those who had been around for many years in the outdoor survival online community knew of his military embellishments due to the profile he created on the Bushcraft USA community site. Some people had already confronted him about it before he became involved in dual survival. When he was bombarded with questions in the online forum, he allegedly admitted to some of them. For instance, Dave told him that when he said he was an Army Ranger, it was because he felt he was part of the group when he worked with them. It was a lame excuse, but then he wasn't a TV personality at that time, so it wasn't a huge deal. Most of them thought he was just one of those people who wanted to feel superior in the community by presenting fake qualifications. After Dave's last appearance in Dual Survival, he capitalized on the little star power that he had, since initially, few really knew why he was no longer part of the third season. He continued teaching survival techniques through a school he founded and co-owned called the Pathfinder School LLC. According to its Facebook page, it is a wilderness, self-reliant school specializing in no-nonsense, down-to-earth lessons in becoming comfortable in nature. The school can be found in Jackson, Ohio, and has 3 levels of training, including Pathfinder Basic Course, Mountain Scout Course, and Pathfinder Advanced Course. The Wilderness Survival Instructor Training and Certification Program are being taught by Dave and 4 survival experts who centered their training on the 5 C's of survivability: container, combustion device, cordage, cover, and cutting tool. Aside from supervising the school, Dave's also busy with his online store called Self-Reliance Outfitters. It broadly offers outdoor gear for outdoor people and has a wide variety of survival gear, cutting tools, outdoor cooking, and hunting items. Information about his Pathfinder school can be found on the site. Dave has also become an author and has written 6 books on survival. The first, entitled Survivability for the Common Man, was published in July 2010, when he was still active on TV. The other 5 books were published by Adams Media in series, focused on Bushcraft 101. The first, called Bushcraft 101, a field guide to the art of wilderness survival, became a New York Times bestseller in 2014. A box set was released for those who wanted to get hold of the 5 books all in one. Some survival enthusiasts requested a visual guide, and so Dave released a graphic version in the form of a coffee table book called Bushcraft Illustrated in 2019. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.